how can we bring some analog warmth, some color, some depth to the cold digital DAW world? I'll show you one simple technique that I use, so let's jump in. Hey friends, Silvano here from ruffinstudio.com. Just quickly let me explain the mindset behind this whole technique that we are going to cover today. So if you think of an old studio environment, right, where a band is recording, every instrument is set up into a mixing console, those big, heavy, expensive consoles, right, those analog consoles. And those consoles actually had some distinctive sounds, right, even if there was no processing on it, because they had some real electronics in it, tube preamps they had built in, and all those kind of things added color to the sound actually. And some people used them just to run tracks through it, which is called summing, to obtain that warmth, to give the track just a little bit more color and togetherness. Glue, the famous glue, right? But we can adapt this mindset to the DAW world, and I show you exactly what I'm doing. And let's quickly make an A/B already, so you will see what we can get with this. This is a processed one. Three, two, one. Bringing it back in. And I think just by this processing, I don't know, the track falls together, but in a good way, right? Everything comes together somehow naturally, sticks together better, especially the clap, the kick, the low end also a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, it sounds just rounder to me and fuller. And it feels like we're connecting the dots that are missing. Listen again. Bypass. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's jump in how we do this. Okay, so step number one is just insert a return track and call it harmonic distortion. So what we are going to do is actually we send groups of sounds to this channel, right? For example, drums, percussions, synths, whatever. And here we have some analog distortion on it. And which means, because we send it to the return track, we share everything that is sent to this channel, right? Shares the same harmonics. It works like the console that I was just talking about, because there was one console and several tracks, and they all ran through the same console, right? So it's not something different, right? That's the mindset behind. So step number one, just insert a new return track, harmonic distortion, and then add some distortion plugin. Step number two is what I call the preamp distortion, right? So the cool thing about this Slate Digital virtual mix rack is that we have a little button up there which calls harmonics. So we just click on it and we have a range of modules from different consoles, right? If I hover over this module here, for example, it actually tells me preamp, harmonics. It also describes it, right? So I can now experiment with different modules, preamps, settings, the preamp. So what I have here is the New York module, which is an emulation of a tube preamp. Let's just have a listen how this works without anything else. I have the feeling it brings up the mid-range a little bit. It just sounds a little bit fuller to me. I also have the feeling it opens up a little bit better just with one module. And now we can actually experiment with different modules, right? So we can swap this one maybe. See, maybe you have a tube distortion maybe. It's very subtle, but I have the feeling it creates a little bit more space. Now let's compare those two. And again, this is level matched, by the way. I actually like this one better. Let's see what we can do with another one, with the London one. Let's also just take a tube preset. Actually like this one. Let's make an AB again. I just have the feeling it sounds a little bit more open, like I would just open my eyes a little bit with this processing here. Yeah, it creates a little bit more clarity in my opinion. So step number 3 is character and summing. So again, we are still in this harmonic distortion section here. And if I scroll down, we have two modules here. VCC channel and the VCC mix bus emulates the summing amp characteristics of each console. So what I did was I just inserted this after the preamp module, and now we can switch between the different ones, right? I like the tube the most, and then we can go a little bit creative. What I did here was just adding, actually don't know, it's a dynamic one. Analog model circuit path to increase the impact of tracks and mixes. It adds punch, depth and explosive dynamic 3D enhancements. Sounds really crazy. Makes it a little bit more airy, I think. And with the last module I added a little bit more shimmer, but it adds actually a little bit more 3D kind of feeling. Let's have a listen. Now the whole chain bypassed. Falls together somehow. A little bit more space. I like this, so let's save it. Yeah, so that's it already, I guess. And you can of course experiment more with this. Other modules, maybe we could even compress the whole thing, maybe. I don't know if this is a good idea. And that's it already. So now let's just quickly go to the tracks to see what I sent to this return track. So I didn't send any low end, and the reason why is because I have this one here, the FG Bomber, which this one, which I believe creates a little bit more, yeah, I think it enhances the stereo field, and I don't want to do that on the lows, right? Because I lose impact then. Also not on the, did I? Yeah, I did it on the kick. Let's have a listen, the impact on the kick only. Already sounds fuller. Let's listen to the drums. I sent the whole drum track, the whole drum group to the harmonic distortion channel. It lifts those hi-hats a little bit. Especially more punch with the kick. Let's go to the hi-hats. They sound more pleasing to me, more open, more wider. Crazy. Awesome. I don't know about you, but I like it. Pat. There's not much going into this channel, but it still creates some width and space. Some sparkle, background. Just sounds a little bit more lifeless without the processing, in my opinion. Yeah, I like it. Don't know about you, but let's sum it up. Step number 1, insert a return channel to make sure to send groups, either groups of tracks or individual tracks to this harmonic distortion channel. Number 2, use some preamp distortion. I use the virtual mix rack because you saw it. It's really easy to use to swap things around. Step number 3 is to add some summing coloration like I did with this virtual mix bus, and then I experimented with other modules, saturation or distortion tools. This actually creates more space, more width, a little bit more punch for the kick, right? And yeah, that's it. So 2 things I want you to do: find some processing. Maybe it doesn't need to be this late thing. Maybe you have found some freeware. Waves also have its own thing, and just experiment. And then if you come up with something that you really like, just save it as a preset and then use it in all your tracks. And number 2, If you struggle with getting the low end right, the bass and the kick part, I have still my 7-step low end checklist ready for you to download. I added in the description and in the comment section. It is packed full with all the tools, the techniques, the EQ chart where you need to tweak your tracks to get a round result, to get really punchy and balanced tracks, especially with the low end. And number 2, send me a DM on Instagram if you like, with your current struggles that you have, so I can make more videos that hopefully help you to improve your mixing game in Rominimal and microhouse tracks. And if you don't like to DM me, just leave a comment in this video. And so that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, means a lot. See you next time. Cheers.